This is definitely one of the most important videos that I've ever made in my life. And I know it probably won't go viral. I know it's probably not going to do crazy views. I know it probably, I can almost guarantee you this, that it won't get over 100 views, right? The reason is because I know the type of people that are going to watch this video, and it's people that really don't care about all that fancy stuff. It's my core audience, that 20 to 50 people that actually come here every single day to watch what I have to say because they know I have to give some value, right? And this is one of those all value videos that I kind of have in my pocket, okay? And I got to make it no matter what. No matter if it doesn't get a lot of views, no matter if it doesn't go trending, no matter if it doesn't even go viral. That's not why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video because it's going to give you value, value, value. Okay? Now here's my thing, right? You guys know that not so long ago, I lost my aunt, right? She passed away. Well, today was actually the finale of everything because today we actually buried her, right? But here's the story to that, okay? So yesterday we had the entire funeral ceremony where we actually go by and she's there in the casket and we actually go and everybody talks. They give her like entire like life story and stuff like that. And everyone was talking, and I think the last person who actually spoke was her son, right? When her son spoke and he said his final words, it was very beautiful. The woman that was translating said, well, does anyone out there have something to say, right? And at this point, like, it was kind of like, like a little, just in case someone wants to say something, you can come up and you can say it, right? I instantly thought about the moment when my dad passed away, and similarly, some lady came and she said, hey, does anyone else want to say something before this, before the end, And I never said anything. I stayed quiet. Why? Because I felt so guilty. I felt so bad about every single thing, and anything that I could find some type of blame and I can blame myself for it, I was definitely doing it. That's just the type of person that I am. So here's the thing. When I was there, I felt guilty for my aunt too, and I didn't want to say anything. But as you can tell, I'm very different from like how I was like a year ago, even 2 years ago, even 3 days ago. Because you're constantly changing. The more you learn, and the more you learn. So when she asked that question, the room was like, for 30 seconds, no one raised their hand. And I said, you know what? I have to say something. I raised my hand. I said, all right, I want to talk about something. And you guys already know the story that I gave you guys. If you watched the I was almost homeless video that I made, and it's the truth. I almost went homeless. If it wasn't for the kindness of this woman, my aunt, then I probably would have been homeless. I wouldn't be making these videos right here because I wouldn't have gone to college. I wouldn't have become an entrepreneur. I wouldn't have like wanted any of these things that I actually want. Because back then I was still in high school, and trust me, I was not thinking about business, okay? I was thinking about sneakers. I was thinking about girls, and it was just like, it was a terrible combination. All right. So here's my thing. I go up there and I share my thoughts about everything. And the more I share my thoughts, and I got off the stage, I found more people coming up and coming up and coming up and sharing their thoughts. We got this entire like trend, this kind of like entire loop, When people saw me express myself, everyone wanted to express themselves also because they know it would be their final chance, right? And when that happened, I saw this overall theme to every single person out there. And the theme was that my aunt was a very good lady. She was more a giver than she was a receiver. She was always focused on getting the family together and always focused on this overall thought. She was also given and all these things. That's great, but she also wanted, after she retired, to actually go out and actually start living her life. What do I mean by that, right? Her interpretation of living her life was basically, going from Dominican Republic to America and back and forth, right? And you guys might think, well, Tommy, like, why don't you just do that while you have a job, right? It's called vacation. Well, not really. Here's why. Because she wanted to go like to Dominican Republic, stay 6 months, then come back here. Why? Because she had her hearts in both places. Because she had her kids here. She also had a family over there that she actually grew up with, And it's very beautiful, And we find a lot of people that are immigrants that want to achieve the same thing, And here's my thing, guys. Something that's very, very crazy. When we buried my grandmother, when we buried my, God forbid, when we buried my aunt today, I saw the entire thing, right? It was like this hole 6 feet under, and it was like so claustrophobic. We put the casket down and we threw the dirt on top. It was just awful, It's so claustrophobic. I got super nervous about it. Like, I just got like so like, like when you have that feeling of like, oh shit, like this is gonna be me someday, And I was like, wow. And here's my thing, right? People go, this is very deep, so listen to what I'm saying right now. It's one of the most important things that I have to say in this entire video. So if you listen to anything, listen to this, okay? Some people go their entire lives, right, living in an apartment, working a job, wait until they retire, right? And they never get to own a piece of land that's actually theirs, And I remember reading this book. It was The Richest Man in Babylon, and he said, one of the most beautiful things for a man. Now, when I say man, back then in those days, like they used to talk about men and women the same, like just man, One of the most beautiful things for like a man or a woman is to like own their own piece of land, their own piece of soil that belongs to them, and no one can take it away from them, But most people, they go their entire life owning apartments, you know, just renting and having a regular job. And the day they die, those things, like, you know, the only person that actually benefit from it was like the landowner, which is probably going to be me, because that's what I'm shooting for, you know, to be a landowner. Now, here's the deal. Why am I mentioning this, right? Because people go their entire life without owning real estate, but when they pass away, you know, either they have to pay for it, or their kids have to pay for this final piece of real estate, you know. And it's the real estate you buy when you are getting that plot of land so you can actually be buried in. It's a very awful thought, right? Imagine that you work your entire life, you don't own anything, and when you die, you have to buy this piece of land that costs between $10,000 in New York or $15,000 in, guess where? In Manhattan. It's crazy, right? $15,000 for a piece of plot land, right? 6 feet under, and it's super claustrophobic, and it's the most awful thought ever. You know what I mean? So what I want to tell you with this, guys, is that it might be easy for you guys out there. Well, most of you guys that watch my videos, you guys probably already know this, right? I think that, you know, you probably shouldn't just be shooting for retirement. You probably should be shooting to make a business or just save money, because I believe that you don't need to be an entrepreneur to be rich, because there's statistics out there. But here's my overall thing, right? Most people that come here to America, that come from or whatever, like, the reason that they're welcomed here, and this is something that's very crazy, right? It's just a thought, you know, but the reason that they're mostly welcomed here is because they have this like overall idea, which is like, you know, it's a better life. I work my entire life, and when I retire, I can start living my life, you know? But overall, it's like a better life. And here's the thing. That's the same thing that my aunt did. You know, she was waiting until she retired, but she never got the chance to actually accomplish her goal. And, you know, it's a sad thing, but it's even sadder that millions of people actually go through the exact same thing every single day in their lives. And it's even sadder that even more millions of people every single day are still working towards that exact same thing right now in a cubicle, working or in a factory, working until they get the chance to actually start living their life, right? And here's what I want to say, guys. This is where the value comes in, you know. This is why I made this video for you guys specifically, because I know that the only people that are going to watch this video are people that actually care and value and cherish what I have to say. So I know this video is not going to go viral or anything like that. It's not what I'm shooting for. I'm just shooting to get those 10 people, 20, 30 people that watch this video some actual value, okay? Listen, if you're between 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and you don't own any real estate, you still live in an apartment, you're still going into debt, you're still doing all this nonsense that you don't need. You're buying things you don't need. You're shooting for things you probably won't ever get. Listen to this, right? I want you to really focus on what you're doing with your life, because one of the most awful things is that it doesn't matter if you're like a shitty person, a good person. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because you have people that love you, either because you want them to love you, either because they just love you. Your mom, your dad, your sisters, your family members, either your friends. Like, whoever loves you, they love you. And when you pass away, and you pass away without achieving anything, without getting to live your life, you're not just like letting yourself down because you die. Well, you're not really letting yourself down because you're already dead, you know? But every single person out there that loves you is crying, you know? And it's just like this feeling of like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So my advice is this, right? And that's not really advice, but it's kind of like orders, you know, because I really want you guys to do this, you know. If you do anything that I tell you in any of the videos that I will be making, you know, guys, by the way, listen to this, right? You guys see me making these videos now, right? Very honest, right? Like, I'm here, one mic, one camera, like one light, my bedroom, everything's fine, right? I make a video every single day. It might be that next year, like, I might blow up, get millions of subscribers. Like, I think it might happen, you know. Maybe the next year after that, it will happen eventually, right? But I want you guys to remember me right now, because this is where the core comes in, because I don't think I'm ever going to lose this idea, you know. Make sure whatever you're doing, you're thinking about the future. So I hate to say this, okay, because it's very morbid and no one really likes to think about this, right? Get life insurance. Get life insurance. Get final expense insurance. If you don't know anything that I'm saying, then just go and research it, right? It's not one of those videos. I'm not giving you guys a tutorial on life. Like, it's just like for your research yourself, okay? Get life insurance, final expense insurance. Make an investment account. Get a 401k if you're like, or with a company and they're going to match it. Like, figure out your final expenses, exercise, love people, try to create something that gives you passive income. Just try to figure shit out, you know, because you only get one chance at life. And if you just go the traditional route, right, which is basically like you go, right, you go to school, you graduate, you work a job, you go there until you're 65 and you don't own anything and you just die and nothing's really like made up for you and people cry for you, people loved you, yeah, right? if you go that route, the only person that actually benefit from it, and I hate to say this, is your landowner, right? Your employer, right? Not your kids, because your kids probably didn't get to spend the most amount of time that they probably could with you, right? Not your family, not your wife, not any of those people. Why? Because you were always gone, you were always working, you were always doing something else. And guess what? If you had spent the beginning of your 20s working hard, making investments, saving up money, doing every single thing you could do, buying real estate and doing all these things, I guarantee you, if you spend if you spend 5 to 10 years like doing what I'm telling you guys, you can easily retire with like between $3,000 to $5,000 like of monthly passive income every single month from real estate or from any other investment that you do want to make. But that's all I really want to say, you know, guys, because I think about this every single day when I think about my life, you know, and I think about the end all the time, you know, and I think about, I never got the chance to say anything at my dad's funeral, but I got the chance to say something at my aunt's funeral, and it's a great thing. And I think about like, how would I want my funerals to be? I think about all those things. So really think about your expiration date, you know, because a lot of people just think about like, oh my gosh, I'm going to live forever. No, you're not, bro. I might be smart now, but you never know what's going to happen to me. You never know what's going to happen to you. So whatever does happen, be prepared for it. And that's why I prepare for everything. Even if it's morbid, even if it's crazy, I don't care. Just prepare for it. Make things happen while you possibly can. Guys, thanks for watching this video. I know a lot of you probably won't watch it. I will be making videos regularly, like always, like tomorrow, like the ones that will go viral, the ones that will get a lot of views. But for now, I want to give you, my core audience, a value video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.
You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top. You've gotta watch all the